Hi there everybody, Loathing Wi-Fi here for another video. This is not a gun review, although I will feature guns that I have shown before. The P2000 that you can see, and I also have the APX here. Both have been cleared beforehand. I will not do it on camera because it's a little bit hard with how I have my camera set up here. But both have been cleared beforehand, both have empty magazines in. So what am I talking about today? I am talking about Goon tape. Specifically, this is in a Flecktarn pattern. You can also get them, though, in black or gray, and I think a couple other colors. Looks like kind of a tan color as well, and a green. So I got mine from Better Way 2A, shipped fast, good service from them. I got, as I said, the Flecktarn pattern, which is more expensive than the others. So the price here is, for any of those solid color ones I mentioned, $8 a roll. And for the Flecktarn one, $15. And just to show you so you know what you're getting, I have used some layers off of this already, but it's a pretty decently sized roll here. I don't really see myself running out of that anytime soon. So, good size roll. Yeah. So what the heck is it for? Obviously it has that camo pattern, but what does it actually do? And the other thing, which I'll get to shortly, is what makes it better than much cheaper hockey tape, because a lot of people use hockey tape instead. So what it does is, or what it is it's a fairly comfortable texture. But at the same time, it's grip, like it feels like it has some grip, It's almost rubbery. This is very hard to describe if you haven't used it. But what I mean is, it's almost like very thick tape, and you're not going to really see this on camera, but when I push in and come out, there's a little bit of give almost. So when I put these on my pistol grip, it does not feel like it has a rubber grip at all. Like, it still feels mostly normal. But there's like a little tiny bit of give there, and that is accentuated the more layers you put on. So it's also good for sweat. So especially, if you're shooting for a more extended period of time or in a hotter area, this will soak up the sweat and you'll get a good grip on the gun. It's not abrasive at all, so even though you're getting a good grip when you're carrying it, especially if you're carrying it against and the grip is rubbing against bare skin, it feels very comfortable. And you can also get that camo pattern if you want, although that is more expensive and offers no additional benefits other than being Flecktarn, but I like the look, so here we are. So what can you put it on? Obviously, I have this P2000 here, and that APX as well. I've put it on a grip, and I think that's what most people use it for. That's very common use. But you can really put it on almost anything. So the handgun grips, rifle grips work as well. One of the most nice things that I've had is I put it on my plastic buttstock on my AR, where basically I put my cheek on the stock when I'm shooting, and that's very comfortable. That makes it a lot more comfortable than shooting normally. You can also put it on any sort of piece of like gear or kit you have that might chafe, or that's a little bit uncomfortable. Any place really on your rifle that you might hold. So I know some people like to grip the magwell of their rifle, for example. I put some there on my rifle briefly just to see what it was like, and it definitely made the shooting experience holding from the magwell more comfortable. But that's not something I really do all that much, so I just took it off. But if that's something that you do, then that's a good place to put it. So what is my experience with it, and would I recommend it? So as I said, first of all, I'll talk about that rifle. I'm not going to bring it in, but I put it on the pistol grip of the rifle, as well as on that part where my cheek rests on the stock of the rifle. Both are, the pistol grip is kind of okay, but I find it's a lot less necessary than it is, or a lot less improving than it is on the pistols on the grip. But on the stock, it's very comfortable, especially when you have that almost extra rubbery texture with some give. It feels very comfortable shooting. You know, not like an AR-15 really is going to be super hard on your cheek anyways, but with that tape, it's even less so. I do think the camo tape looks a little bit weird on the rifle, honestly. Not enough that I care to take it off, but if I was to do it again for the rifle, I'd probably just go with a black or gray tape. Not that that really matters too much one way or another. And then also, these, again, the pistols here. The reason I brought these two pistols out is because I've talked about them before, and so I can kind of tell you what it does compared to how they used to feel. And if you've already seen those reviews of those pistols, then that should maybe give you some context. So the P2000, which is the one I have here, and I have it here because I think this improves it the most, it has not a lot of texture on the grip. Obviously, it's grip taped up right now, but you can, again, if you see the review, and if not, you can kind of see a little bit of that texture peeking out. But there's really not a lot going on with it. And I liked that because for me, this is a carry gun. This is my everyday carry. Maybe not every day. I've been carrying the APX a little bit more in the winter now that I have more beefy clothes. But you know what I mean. It's one that I carry a lot, and I carry an appendix, so that grip is kind of rubbing into my stomach a little bit. So I wanted something that is not going to be irritating, which the P2000 did very well. But the trade-off is the grip texture wasn't great. At my smaller range sessions, that didn't really matter too much, so it was well worth it. But if I was there shooting a little bit longer, maybe if it was a little bit warmer and I was sweating, then that became a little bit more of an issue. And also it's a 40, so it has a little bit more recoil than the 9mm. What the grip tape does here is it gives me a great texture to hold on to, and it's, again, sweat resistant as well, so those longer range sessions are not a problem anymore. I feel like I have a great grip with it, and the grip was already very ergonomic, so, you know, it all works out very well. But, again, it's not going to be very abrasive when I'm carrying. So it's a great grip, and it's probably even better than the P2000 was before in terms of abrasiveness when I'm carrying. So it's the best of both worlds. It's been great. And again, that slightly rubbery texture too, especially with a 40 over a 9mm, will help a little bit in my comfort with the longer range sessions with recoil. Again, that is probably the least important part of it, but it is there. So that is my experience with the P2000. It really improves the gun a whole lot. Now, the APX, I would say it improves a little bit less. And that is because the APX already had a really nice grip. Excuse me, great texture. And I carry this on at my 3 o'clock about, so the grip isn't really rubbing into my hip at all. Now, if you were carrying an appendix or in a position where that grip would be rubbing into your body, it has a little bit more of an aggressive texture, which again at the range is great, but I could see this tape improving that. I still think it improves it a little bit. It makes it slightly more sweat resistant, which is nice, and it is maybe a little bit better than the grip texture on the APX, but not as much. It's not necessary at all for the APX, but it is a little bit helpful. I've also used it with a Glock 19, and I find it very helpful with a Glock 19. That has decent grip texture, but to me is very unergonomic. The tape makes it feel a little bit more ergonomic. Now, would I recommend it? Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I would just go out and get some. It's fairly cheap. You can put it on a lot of stuff. You can put it on rifle mags as well, like maybe your P mags. That would probably help. I don't do that because I carry, my go-to mags are for an AR, are Smoky Lancers, and putting tape on that would kind of defeat the purpose of the clear mag. But, you know, if you got P mags or USGI mags, that would probably be a great use. Yeah, I'd really recommend you go out and get some. If you're not as happy with your grip texture, that'd be great. And again, I would get it over the hockey tape, even though it's a little bit more expensive, because it has that almost extra padding. It's very hard to explain unless you've shot it yourself. And I have shot hockey tape guns, so I have shot both, and that's where that experience is coming from. So, big recommend on this product. please go get it if it interests you. Super helpful. Anyways, short of the video here, but have a great day, everybody. Bye.